The show is among several granted an exemption to operate under Melbourne's Stage 4 lockdown, but has now been forced to shut down after 7 members tested positive.
There are some productions, if they weren't to continue, then they would be lost to Victoria. And it's done on a case-by-case basis, and it's always accompanied by a COVID-safe plan.
The entire production team, including host Osher Ginsberg and the high-profile panel, is now in self-isolation.
This is a wildly infectious virus, and even if you've got the very best protocols in place, you will see positive cases.
And joining us from ISO is Masked Singer host Osher Ginsberg. First of all, Osher, how are those infected team members going?
They're doing. I mean, obviously they're a bit weirded out and a bit shocked by the whole thing, but we're doing our best to get around them. And I'm in awe of these guys. They are incredibly professional dancers, and it's not just dancers, by the way. It's very important to notice. But it was a dancer that was the one, because you guys all know what it's like on show day. We were literally 2 hours away from hitting record on our grand finale. The pyrotechnics were loaded. Everyone was in costume. We are ready to go. And this person was so brave, so brave. This young person put their hand up and said, hang on, guys, I'm not feeling so great. I should probably let you know this. And they were brave enough to pull the emergency brake on this freight train. And then we hit stop and everything shut down because, nothing is as important in everyone's safety. And I really hope that we can see them as an example for just knowing that if you don't feel great, put your hand up because it's just not worth it.
And how about you? How are you feeling, Osh? We know this must be a massive shock.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's my son's first birthday today, which I was going to celebrate in mandatory quarantine anyway, but at least I would have been a little bit closer to him because we were supposed to fly home today. But I'm fine. I went and had a little brain scrape today and, I'm waiting on my results. And I just basically put my bike back together and I rode 50 miles on the Zwift before and to kind of clear the head. That was fine.
This has affected a lot of people. What kind of protocols have been in place around COVID?
Well, Peter, I've got to be honest with you, mate. I'm really militant about this stuff. My outside clothes stay outside. I have a Gallagher shower, then I get into my inside clothes. I wash all my groceries down. I've been like this since this started. So I would not have been involved in a production that doesn't take it seriously. I've never been on a stricter set, on a more segregated set. Everyone was working in little pods. No people, crossed over. Because of where we're shooting in Victoria, we had to prove to the Victorian government that it was safe, and we had to show them what we were planning to do and how we were planning to do it. And we worked hand in glove with them to make sure it was all right.
And so, Osh, is it true that when you return back to work, you might have to film the remaining few episodes with the singers wearing masks?
Yeah, and I'm not lying to you on this, Tommy. My first text to my boss this morning was like, I know we had like the big final, all 12 together singing a song for our grand finale. Can we please change that song to Ironic from Alanis Morissette, please? Because if there is no Logie in 2021 for the best use of irony in TV show, I'll be most disappointed if we don't win that one.
And I imagine amongst all this distress, there must be one person that is happy with this news, and that's Hughesy, because that bloke loves publicity more than I reckon anything on earth, and anything that gets him more publicity is in his eyes a good thing.
To be honest, he's kind of like the on-set dad. He's always there with a good halftime speech. He's there with his good parental advice. He's great. He's great to have around. And, considering I'm away from my family, I'm calling him daddy lately. But that's another story.
Osh, we have to ask, what is going to happen next? Can the show go on?
I mean, as you know, we're a business like any other, and we adhere to whatever happens once there's been, an outbreak. We have to do a deep clean. We have to test everyone, and we're going to work as much as we can to try and get a grand finale happening, because we've shot every single episode. Everyone except the last one. So we've got 3 more weeks of episodes in the can. So the next 3 weeks, you'll see the show as normal because we've finished all that. We just had the last one to film. So we're going to work as hard as we can to try and figure out how we can make that episode safely. Now, bear in mind, these are the same people that actually figured out how to make both The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, a show that involves people actually tongue-tashing during a pandemic. So I'm pretty sure we'll figure out a way to pull it off.
And just finally, Osher, and probably most importantly, you're in isolation at the moment, but your hair and lighting game has gone next level. Are you trying to raise the standard of Zoom across the country?
I believe it was David Lee Roth who said, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's how good you look trying.
Thank you. Yes, amen.
And you look great. Osher, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Stay well.
Thanks, team.
Thanks, Osh.
Oh,
No,
Osher,
and you.
just
I can't
quickly.
say enough about the Vic Health people. I know people want someone to blame, but those guys have been absolute incredible. Just guns. Amazing.
That's good to hear.
I just want to be really clear, if my kids are watching, that the show is on as usual tomorrow night and the next night.
Yeah.
They're big fans. Yeah, I don't want any confusion.
Yeah.